His current diagnosis is that the company has lost its innovative edge to financial engineering. And I think that's, from what I'm seeing, that seems relatively true. A lot of their recent releases, including their new shoe, was lackluster. They don't have the same edge they did, and I would argue in some ways they've lost their footing. His disadvantages, it's been reported that he's declined to engage with the board. And that statement, when you hear union fights and they'll say, well, they've walked away from the table, they're not willing, that doesn't play well to the market, and it doesn't play well to anybody who would theoretically support him.
Steve Jobs publicly was famous for berating employees, but I would argue that Jobs never disgraced, maybe is a good way to kind of put it, because I think the way Chip has publicly said things about his customers or his customer base, and loyal customers, but his rant was about just things like women's role in the workplace and how hard it is to hire them because they like to go on maternity leave. And like, this conference had probably 1,000 people at it. The number of women who got up and left, I was shocked. Like, I had no idea that this is what was going to transpire. So that was my first sort of introduction to Chip Wilson and sort of his opinions. And obviously he's been on the news other times as well, giving some pretty controversial comments about certain type of women or certain size women that just shouldn't be wearing his clothes. Like, again, there's one thing being controversial, like you mentioned Steve Jobs, and standing your ground with things, but Steve would never, as far as I can remember anyway, I never heard a story of him berating or disgracing a customer in any kind of way. Like, that just makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Absolutely. A lot of the things he said are completely indefensible. And if even half of the urban legends are true, it's unbelievable. He's one of the most controversial business leaders in history.